Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Canine Connection podcast. Today, Laurie and I are going to do a recap of the most recent regional qualifier. But before we start that, we have something more important that we need to talk about. I need to congratulate Laurie on finding a building for her school, which I'm super. Anytime someone starts a business, I get really super excited because I know that it takes a lot of courage because it's super scary. But I also know that when we do scary things, really good things happen. Really great things don't happen if we're just cruising along in our comfort zone. So I'm super excited. I'm also super excited because obviously I like how Laurie teaches through motivation and, supporting the dog and being a good partner. And I'm super excited that she's going to be out there. And I know it took her a while to find the right building, but she did. It's beautiful. I saw it. I was there. I witnessed it. So, super excited. So, congratulations on your
Thank
new
you.
building.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And
I can't
I'm
wait.
sure. So, what are you going to be doing there
So,
besides your competition?
yep. So we are going to just carry over all our competition obedience classes, and we're going to be adding some new ones to the schedule. We have a fantastic, well, kind of small, but fantastic rally program starting with Danette Chorney, who we actually had on our podcast, who's an AKC rally judge. She's going to be our instructor, which we're really excited about. And we are going to be adding some pet classes, which we're starting to put together now so we can offer some classes to the public, which is really nice. I love that we can help people with their household pets and hopefully maybe even try to convince some of them to carry over into some of our competition stuff. Yeah. And we'll be doing events such as seminars and workshops and matches and all sorts of fun stuff like that. So we are very excited. Thank you so much.
I think you might be having somebody I know for a seminar.
Yes.
Me.
Can I say? Yes, we are very excited about that. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yeah. So anyway, huge congratulations. I know it'll be successful because Lori works super, super, super hard and you love what you do. And I think that's
I do.
always the key.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have to work hard, but if you love what you're doing and if you're passionate about it, then to me, there is nothing more rewarding than doing that for a living because then it's not drudgery. It's not like, oh God, just another day. It's just your life is just so much better because you're loving what you do. And I think it comes through. It comes through with the students. And so anyway, super excited. Love when
Thank
people
you.
start businesses. Very
Yeah,
excited.
it is exciting. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to celebrating that.
Yeah.
And on the same day, on my way to the regional, I went a
Mm,
day early because we planned to stop by Catalyst Kennels and take a look at a litter. And I asked if I could sort of puppy test them because I just love doing that. And of course, Lori said she didn't want a puppy,
of
but yeah,
course.
I might have had my some suspicions that that might not be the case. So, it was a absolutely gorgeous day. Kate, the owner of Catalyst Kennels, brought the puppies to her house, so they'd never been there. Took them out one by one. I don't do formal testing anymore because I've learned over time you're just looking at behavior, and it's
Yeah.
really not that complicated. The important thing is to take them out one by one away from their litter mates in a novel environment. And then we looked at 3 girls because Lori said, "I wanna look at the girls, I wanna look at the girls." So we looked at the girls, and there were some nice girls, and I was like, "Yeah, they're nice." And then Caitlin snuck out a boy, and the boy was on the ground for what? A
15
minute?
seconds.
And
15 seconds. Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh my god, I love him. I love him." And, like, every minute, I'm like, "I love him even more. I love him even more." I picked him up. I'm like, "I'm taking him," although I knew I was not because I can't take a puppy now. And the longer we had him out, the more clear it was that he was a super exceptional puppy, which is why Kate pulled him out even though he was a boy.
Yeah.
And
Sneaky.
so, yay, I have a nephew now.
Yes. T the nephew. He is amazing. It was such a fun day. I was so happy Petra was there, except she convinced me to take the puppy. No, I'm kidding. He is a remarkable puppy. He's super smart and, just, threw him into the chaos. Like, why not? We just, roll with all that stuff, and he's actually been really, really good. He integrated into the household really well, and he's like a little old soul. He just plays with the dogs. There's no issues. So, and he's super, super smart, like crazy smart. So, he's gonna be
And he
fun.
came right to the regional with us.
Yes, he did. Yep. Yep. Like the next day in
Yep,
the
that's
car.
good. It's good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be having Caitlin on in the future. And one of the things I definitely want to talk about with her is, picking puppies and what are we looking for and what is it that we see, because it was super interesting to me because she and I kind of saw the same things, which makes me feel better. But
Mhm.
also like, I said to her, like, "What is it?" Like, "I don't know what that thing is." Like, that puppy hit the ground, and I just knew it, and that's not the first time that's happened to me where I see a puppy and I'm like, "Oh my god, that puppy." So, yeah, so it was a super interesting conversation, but I think that we should save it because I think that'll be a really fun episode,
Yeah.
just kinda getting down in the weeds about, puppies, what are we looking for? And what's the right puppy for the right person? Because obviously, the puppy you want or I want is not necessarily the same puppy that somebody else wants. Because
Yeah, or should have.
or should have. Yes,
Yeah.
because yeah, most people would have returned Zesty,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a
but they
thing
only
for
see what
sure.
they see. They only see.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So, in the same day that Lori signed her lease, she got a puppy because that's how
Yeah.
we roll.
That's how we roll. It was like one of the best days in my life. It was great.
And then, yeah,
Yeah.
so lots of fun and exciting things. So he got to come along to the regional. So the regional qualifier, this one was in New Hampshire. It's a 3-day event. Dogs compete in 2 classes a day. And then they go by the cumulative score at the end of the weekend, and the top 4 teams get an automatic invite to the national championship next year. So it's always has really tough competition, which is super great and fun.
Mhm.
The one in New Hampshire is one of my favorites for several reasons. One of them is that Zaina's breeder, who is there, who's become my friend, and they always cook me an amazing dinner, and we get to hang out. So that's really nice. It's always super pretty up there. Celeste owns the building and goes all out
Mhm. It's like a
with the
cruise ship.
facility. It's like a cruise ship.
It's crazy.
It's decorated to the nth degree. The ribbons and the prizes are, like, off the chart.
Mhm.
Food, constantly she's got food cooking and out for everyone.
She makes it so it is it's a special event. It's a big competition and she really does go out of her way to make it feel that special. It really, you walk in and you just feel the excitement and with all the decorations and Celeste and her husband Dave are like hands on the entire weekend, making sure everyone's good and keeping the place rocking and rolling. It's really fun. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
and it's a lot of work, and they do a match the day before. I mean, they
Yeah.
really pull out all the stops, and it's an enormous amount of work, and they have a raffle. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. So we really appreciate it, and I know everyone that competes there does because I hear people always commenting on it. So we appreciate and all her helpers and her staff and all the volunteers and the judges because it's a gigantic undertaking and they're long days, they're big classes because it's a
Right.
qualifier, and so that means their days tend to be longer than at some more local trials. So it's a big deal, but it's super fun. So yeah, so 3 days competing. Lori was there with Ever. I had Zesty and Zaina. Zaina was a really good girl. Zesty, not so much.
He was.
It's actually pretty hilarious. Every time I think about it, and I told the girls I train with and my training partner, because so what did Zesty do? He comes running in on the drop on recall, stares at this piece of masking tape that's on the
Oh
floor
my
to mark a
god.
setup point and misses the drop, which is beyond hilarious when you if you knew how I train and where I train and what we do. There's tape on the floor. There are like stuffing from there's stuff around like
No tomorrow.
all the time. And yet he was enamored with the tape.
You came out of the ring. God. I was like, "Oh my god, she's gonna kill him." He
No,
looked at the
because
fucking tape.
he stared at it. It was so clear. There was no question what happened. Like none.
I know.
None. So
Oh my
So what did
god.
I do? I was so unprepared. I told him the down, but that was kind of silly because that wasn't even really the issue. It wasn't a drop issue. It
Yeah,
was
it's a
an
distraction.
attention issue, right? A distraction issue. But ultimately, it was really good that that happened
Mhm.
because it exposed a hole in my training. Because clearly, I'm putting stuff on the ground, so that's not the hole, right? But where's the hole? Well, the hole is I never really explained to him thoroughly enough in a way that he understood that he cannot interact with that stuff, right? So even on my warm up, it's fall. There were people are coming in and out. So there were little pieces of leaves like on the floor. He kept thinking like it was a piece of food and he wanted to get it. And I'm like, dude, no, leave that. But the fact that he even thought that it was an option
Right.
shows that I have not done my job well enough. And anyway, so I figured that out. And I realized then that some of the stuff in the ring I had been reading as him being nervous or him being worried or him like overthinking was him just being distracted.
Right.
Like his attention was just split in spite of the fact that, I take him lots of places, et cetera, et cetera. So I worked on that, the next morning and I knew I was going to blow utility. I worked through it in that ring. And then when I went into the open ring, it was like it registered fully and I had like a completely different dog. So in that 2 days, the second and third day, I solved like with the help of Lori and my friend Lee, because I was like, they're like, dude, he doesn't understand that he's really not supposed to do it.
Right.
So yeah, you can always take something and you can I could have turned it into catastrophe and just lamented the whole weekend that he did that and on and on and on. Or I just turned it into something super. Was I thrilled? No, but whatever. What's done is done. I turned it into something super productive. Um, that I think will help us significantly moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is a huge plus. That's a huge takeaway. Huge takeaway.
Yeah.
You didn't you didn't know that he had an automatic in for next year's NOC. Petra's like, "I gotta get him qualified." We're like, "Dude, you're in."
I know. I didn't know that if you win the NOC, you're automatically in the next year. I did not know that.
Yeah, says the person who won it 4 times.
Lori and Lee told me. I was like,
Yeah.
really? Yeah. Well, I'd still like to, qualify in all
Yeah,
the
right.
classes in
Right.
Syracuse in a few weeks. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. It was funny.
I was like, "Oh god, now there's gonna be pressure on Syracuse," and although somebody told me he has enough breed points, which I don't check either. I just don't check these things,
I
like,
don't really check it
I
either.
don't really
Yeah.
pay
I
attention,
mean, I'm sure
so
he does.
I'm
I'm
sure we'll
sure he
be
does. But
fine,
still,
but
it
yeah.
is that, like, that's how I think the same with Ever. She's probably got enough breed points, but it's still like you know, my I I want to go and I would like to have her qualify in all 6 classes, 3 days in a row. My thing always goes back to my handling. That's what I'm always, along with my training, I'm constantly trying to be more consistent in my handling, being more confident in my training, which then can kind of like predict my handling. Cause of course I go and I day one, first class, it's always the freaking first class. And I just can't seem to like handle consistently. It takes me like the first class on the first day to like screw up enough of my handling to come out and be like, what an idiot. Like, you need to freaking handle the way you're supposed to handle Ever. Like, that's my biggest struggle right now. So, of course, that did happen my first class and we qualified and she was decent, but Ever's not an inherently confident dog. So I need like she can't necessarily carry herself if I'm like a dipshit in the ring. Like, she's not that dog. I have to be who she needs me to be in the ring. Like, that is the reality of it, right? Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you
I
agree
think
with
that
that?
I think she needs it a lot, but I've been thinking about this a fair amount. I think the reality is that all dogs do need us to handle because they're operating in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we walk into a building, okay, they're dogs. I'm in a building. It's about all they know. Oh, there's dogs and people here. But, like, the only reason they know what they're supposed to be doing moment by moment is from our cues, right? And if our cue system changes in any way, which can be the tone of our voice, the pitch of our
Right.
voice, our
Right.
energy, if we give the same cues, but we're twitchier, or we're faster or slower,
Mhm.
that's all information, and that's what's gonna confuse them, right?
Mhm.
So the more predictable we are,
Right.
the more clear it is to them what they're supposed to be doing. So if I we handle so A, it's super important to be really consistent in training, and then you have to do the exact same thing at a trial because otherwise it's different. And if it's
Right.
different, the dog's going to be confused. And yes, maybe some dogs are a little bit better at pushing through than others, but still at the end of the day, sooner like I find that eventually like they start to fall apart, right? Like,
Right. Right.
because it's a cue system.
Right. And it's unclear. Right.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
clarity, and
Yeah.
they need clarity and predictability.
Right, and especially in that environment, I mean,
Yes.
it was hard. It was super hard. But I did with the help of, Petra and my friends, I was able to get on track and the rest of the weekend went great. She had some really nice classes. She worked her butt off. And then of course I blew it at the end cuz I put too much pressure on her, but it's okay. Like, that's just, to me, we all have our goals, we all get competitive, but I know I'm still learning. Like, I'm always going to be learning. I'm still fairly new at this sport. Like, so, and I'm not using that as an excuse, but I
No,
I
but
am
you are.
humbled. I'm humbled by all the mistakes I make in the moment. And like when they happen, like the mistake in the last class and open on day 3, like I had this beautiful class. The rest of the weekend had gone really well. I had gotten myself together until I made that mistake. And in that exact moment I made it, I knew I made the mistake. And it was a hard lesson to learn. It was hard. It was upsetting, but my takeaway is like I need to be better for my dog. Like, that's always how it's going to be at the end of the day.
Well, and I think that we're gonna be having Julie Bacon on in a few weeks who does mental management coaching, and she has a podcast, so we're definitely gonna
Yeah.
do a deep dive on this. But from experience, it's something that, and I told you this, at the end of the weekend, like it's something that we have to practice like every day.
Mhm.
We have to do some mental management, right? Because the reality is we're going to be nervous. There's no escaping that. There's going to be pressure. Our mind and body does crazy things. So, in order to execute in that situation under those conditions, we have to do mental management practice, right?
Right.
Like we have to practice that all the time. And I mean, I've done that for years and I find that because I've been doing it for so long, sometimes I get lazy or sloppy or I forget to do it. I just don't I just I
Yeah.
don't know, I just don't do it. And like I got there and I felt like my mental game wasn't as good as it could be. Like my handling for Zaina especially is kind of super autopilot at this point. I know what I need to do, because
Yep.
we've been together for a while. But at the end of the day, still wasn't my very best. And I had said this to you, was because I didn't do my mental management going into it. I just I let it slide. I don't know. I just didn't think about it.
Mhm.
So that was just a reminder to me as well that it's something that needs to be worked on all the time and forever.
Right.
If you wanna be at your very best in any event, really, because sure, there's more pressure at a regional theoretically, but you know what? When I was going for my first ACH or when I was going for my first CD, CDX, UD, whatever, I felt even more stressed out because I didn't have the experience,
Right.
So I think it's super important for everyone. We talk about this all the time and people
Yep.
don't do it, but
Yep.
um I saw something. I was so bummed out. She didn't have it on tape. So someone, I don't think she'd mind if I mention her name, but I didn't
Probably
ask,
not.
so I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
But her dog, so she's in utility. Her dog took the jump and took the whole knocked the whole jump down, and as the jump was kind of clattering down, the dog was like, oh god, oh god, oh god, and she just did an absolutely masterful job of saying to her dog, you're fine, come on, come on, come on, you're fine, it's okay, good dog. Got the dog right back on track, supported the dog 100%. There was not one hint of annoyance, disappointment, frustration, anything in her face, her tone, nothing. So the dog felt really supported. The dog just boom, recovered pretty immediately. She sent it for the go out again, and she wisely did that same jump again. And the dog cleared it. So now she didn't have to worry about potentially having any future, the dog having ghosts in its head about that
Yeah.
jump.
Yeah.
And I made a point to go talk to her about it afterwards and just tell her, that it's just so nice to see that,
Right.
because um nothing's more frustrating to me than when people show their disappointment in the dog to the dog,
You're right.
you
Right.
know, and or leave the dog floundering or whatever the case. And I know people struggle with that in the ring, but it's so important, and you have to think about the long term. If that dog had gotten startled, and then she was annoyed, that dog could have had a jumping problem for God knows how long,
Right.
or just a confidence problem
Yep.
in the ring.
Yep. Yeah, she was so good. Her response to that was immediate. Like that to I go back to the mental management too. Like she knew exactly how to handle it in that moment to make sure that the dog felt supported. And if she had gone a different direction and reacted a different way, it could have been definitely effective to the dog for sure.
Yeah,
It was pretty cool to say.
it was really nice. I was so bummed it wasn't on film. I was like, "Did anybody film you?" She's no. I was like, that's because it was just yeah, it was really beautiful. It was really nice.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
What else? There was a dog fight outside the
Yes,
ring,
yep, there was a
which
yep. Well, because there was a dog fight in the backside of the building, but it was loud, so, of course,
very loud
everybody,
and
everybody's heads are
sustained.
turning. Yep, and then one of our friends was about to go in the ring, and, of course, it just everybody's adrenaline, kicks up, 80 notches, and because of that. And that's, again, you need to react and respond accordingly so that you don't put that on your dog, right? So we were sort of helping her and supporting her through that.
Yeah, like, I was like, "Look, the dog doesn't know anything happened. Just stay cool, calm, and collected. Act like nothing happened. Warm your dog up like nothing happened, and
Yep.
just move on." Because if you react and go, "Oh god, oh god, ah, ah, ah," well, then
Right.
that's gonna travel down to the dog, right? If we act like nothing happened. Now, I hate when things like that happen because obviously whoever the dog well, look, I don't know who started it. All I know is both handlers are responsible, right? Because if a dog attacks my dog, I wasn't paying attention.
Right.
Because I am watching like a hawk when I'm with my dog, 100% of the time when my dog is out. And if another dog is like 15 feet away and is staring at my dog, I move away. Like I just
Yeah.
if a dog's kind of at the end of a leash or if person's not paying attention, or even if they are paying attention, they're just unconcerned that their dog's squirting over towards my dog. I don't make like this very obvious like move away from that dog, put myself between the two dogs, if needed, tell the person to move their dog because it's my responsibility to keep my dog safe.
Yeah. And surprisingly, at the regional qualifier, where there are experienced handlers everywhere, I mean, it happened. There was a dog fight. And I did see that a lot, even just trying to potty my dogs. I'm trying to get through the door and people are looking at the board and they're not paying attention to their dog who's at the end of the leash. Like it, that stuff happens at all dog shows, even at the regional, so.
People have to understand, right? At the end of the day, even though in our minds they're like our big giant stuffed animals, they're dogs,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes, like one time, it was two really experienced people too. I was like, dude, what? Neither one of them's paying attention to their dog. I see it coming. I open my mouth to say something, right? And the one dog was hard staring at the other dog and it like went towards it and the border collie was the one that sounded like it started it but it was defending itself,
Yeah.
and then right away the person with the other dog was like, I said, oh no, 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 no. I said, first of all, the two of you are ridiculous. Pay attention to your dogs. You should know better. Second of all, your dog went at the border collie. The
Right.
border collie was reacting, not instigating, So anyway, the take home is pay attention, right? It's your job to
Yes.
protect your dog. It's your job to make sure your dog's not being like I had a dog. I had a dog that had some issues. That was such a good lesson cuz it taught me to be so careful and so conscientious,
Right.
and so aware and alert. And I took that responsibility very, very, very seriously. I was like, if this dog is going to be around other dogs, then I need to do my job. That's on me.
Right.
And even if that means another dog, I know if another dog comes charging up at him, he's going to want to kill it. So guess what? I got to make sure that doesn't happen. Right. So I think people, yeah, just pay attention, protect your dog, be careful. Everybody should be careful. We have to remember. And if there is, a dog fight or a scuffle or some chaos, whatever, don't go down that rabbit hole,
Right. Right.
stay out of it. Don't get involved in the drama. You know what? Be the anchor for your dog, right? Like, we have to be there for our dog and just be like, it's all right, buddy. Nothing happened. It's all good. I'm here. I got you.
Yeah.
Onward and upward.
Yeah. For sure. What else?
That's it really. I
Yeah.
mean, I was really happy with Sana. She was a really good little girl. She tried really hard.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Um,
She did a great job.
it's exhausting.
And congratulations.
Thanks.
Second.
Yeah. It's
Yay.
exhausting. And I think people have to understand that as well. Like our dogs are not machines. Like Sunday when Zest is passed out on the couch, he's tired cuz
Right.
that's not how he rolls, right? So, again, I think people like get so frustrated with their dogs. Like I know I'm exhausted and the dogs are it's just a lot. So I
It's
think
a
we
lot.
also, yeah, have to be I think you have to make sure your dog is physically conditioned so
You
that your
do.
dog can physically hold up. I think your dog has to be mentally conditioned because it requires an enormous amount of focus to go again and again, day after day after day. It's
Yeah.
really hard. And I think we have to have realistic expectations
Yep.
about
Yeah.
for the dog, you know?
Yeah. And it was hard to which is I mean, I've only been to 2 qualifiers, regional qualifiers, but these 2 rings were side by side sharing a ring gate. So it was distracting.
Yeah, and there's stuff going on outside the ring, and it's
Yeah.
it's busy. There's a practice ring in the middle. There are a lot of people, so there's just a lot of foot traffic, a lot of noise, a lot of ambient noise. Because
Yep.
upstairs they had rally, but upstairs isn't fully enclosed, so you can hear
Right.
everything. You can hear them clapping, you can hear them yelling,
Yep.
calling, whatever. So you hear all that noise. And oh, and the back wall.
Oh, yeah, the back wall.
So I forget about this stuff because I've been doing it so long. But
I
my training partner brought it to my attention because he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a mural painted on something and hang it up." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then I'm like, "So Celeste, oh my God, like her walls have these, it's
It's mural. It's
unbelievable.
all murals, the
It's
whole
more,
thing.
but it's like a whole freaking
The whole thing.
landscape, the whole
Yes.
wall. It's just
All the walls are
it's,
just
like,
painted.
unbelievable.
Yep, yep.
Painted, landscapes,
Scenes, yep.
scenes,
Dogs,
dogs.
hot air balloons. I mean, you name it, it's on the wall. Dogs staring at you as you tend them to the go out.
Yeah, so when you put yes, there were ring gates against the back walls, but there's murals in the back, all different colors and pictures, whatever. So it makes the go out picture challenging, right? But I mean, me personally, I think all go out pictures are challenging because I think it looks different everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one can be a little particularly challenging, but she does have the match the day before.
Yeah. Yep.
So you can work that out. Again, it just shows that it's important for utility to really generalize the go out. Like, I think people just get so stuck on the whole, but the stanchion's there. I'm like, do you see the whole picture? Like, look at what the dog's looking at. And some dogs literally do see those dogs sitting there in the mural and think they're dogs sometimes.
Right. Yeah, it
You
can be
know?
weird for some of the
Or it's
dogs.
just colors, right? Like there's different colors in the wall that'll draw a dog like off center.
Yep.
Like I went in the warm up ring, Zayna went boop right off. No, I don't know where the hell she was going. Was not up the middle.
Well, and that like I mean, my when we do the matches before the regionals or even like the matches for any trial that they have a match the night before or the day before, we should talk about that too. Is like some of the stuff that like what do we do when we go to those? Like what are we using that ring time for? Like so knowing my dog is going to be competing for 3 days and 6 classes total, I'm not going to like train the shit out of her that day. What my goal is to make sure she sees all the go out pictures and all the rings that she's going to be in. I get her into all the corners cuz one of the rings also had a I don't know if that was an air conditioning unit hanging over the corner, like it was a dark corner.
Something hanging up and the corner's really dark.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
corner was really dark. So I make sure I'm looking at all that stuff and making sure my dog gets into the corners, gets up against the gates, gets to the go out. I don't really do articles. You know what I mean? I'm just doing that stuff so that she's been in the ring, she's been in the corner, she sees the go out.
And
Um
you're rewarding it all. Like we're not
yeah,
testing. We're not like, can you do it? And then no, no, I'm like, you can't find the go out. Well, that's kind of not good. So let me help you find the go out
right.
so you can know where it is. And then I'm going to reward for getting there.
Yep.
And then same, like you're going to show her the corner, but you're going to reward that so she feels confident going in the
Going
corner, right?
in.
I think I might have put Zesty. I knew Zaina wouldn't care. I think I might have put Zesty in a corner just to make sure he would like go in there, no problem. He didn't care. I was like, all right, no, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna beat a dead horse, but I'm not that's all I really did. I
me
think I
too.
think I might have done the broad jump because I want to make sure they don't slip
Yep.
because I wanted them to get a feel for the flooring because my dogs tend to slip
Yeah,
on
mine
the broad
too.
jump if it's slippery. So that's it. Just I think I just did like the broad jump, just a couple things, reward it. I mean, utility, I just split the run with my 2 dogs. I was just like, "Do go out," and I
Yeah.
sent Zesty into the corner
Yeah.
for a glove, and I was like, I didn't even need to do that with Zaina.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
you don't wanna be, like, testing your dog and stress and telling your dog you're wrong and stressing your dog out the day
Right.
before you're gonna be showing for 3 days, right? You want
Exactly.
your dog to have a really good experience
Yeah, and be
is
fresh.
yeah, what you should be doing. And if the go out wasn't so challenging, sometimes I don't even like to do the match the day before, but,
Well, yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Right.
And with a
Yeah.
seasoned dog, a lot of times I don't need to. I think it depends on the dog. But in any event, you should be rewarding your dog, building their confidence, not testing them, right?
Right.
Because
Which yeah, and that goes on for sure.
yeah, well, it does, but
Yeah.
that's not the most productive use of your time. You want your dog going in confident and relaxed and
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
stressed out. And that's another thing, like you can't when you have to show multiple days, if you're putting so much pressure on each day or on each class, right?
Right.
Like, come on, dog, it needs to be perfect or it needs to be this way, your dog's going to end up blowing up. Like
Yeah.
it's not gonna be able to hold up, right? It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
So you wanna keep your dog confident and relaxed, and you wanna kinda have a plan, right? Like, because I think when people don't have a plan I'm doing this webinar right now, like, people say, "Oh, like, what happens when I warm my dog up and I don't have my dog?" Well, guess what? More than likely, it's 'cause your dog's not ready. You didn't
Yeah.
do all your prep work, right? But you should have a plan, like, you should have, kind of, "This is what I do, this is, this for this dog, these are the couple things I'm gonna warm up," and that's it. You don't wanna be sitting there warming up every single exercise and stressing your dog out. You wanna have a plan, stick to your plan, maybe you need to adjust it a little bit, but you don't wanna start doing anything too crazy because people will do that at these events. They get nervous and they start doing all kinds of crazy things, and all that does is stress the dog out.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
I know what I wrote down because I think everybody has this problem. Because you wrote something about, like, you need to be confident in your training. Like, I still have imposter syndrome. Like, I told my friend, like, on the drive home, I was like, "Most of the time, if I think about the NOC, like, I still can't believe I won." Like, I'm like, I still feel like it was an accident or like, I don't even know how it happened. Like, that's my default,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
I think that's actually not super uncommon
It's not.
that people don't have faith in their preparation or in their training or in their dog, and that's what happens to me when I don't do my mental management training, right? Like, I'm there and there's this weird subconscious part of my brain that's there, like, thinking, "You're not good enough. What are you doing?" Just all these doubts that we're not even consciously aware of if we're not really paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
And I think that it's important for people to understand that everybody kinda has that, right?
Everybody.
Some version of it, regardless of, whatever, how long they've been doing it. We all struggle a little bit with that, and it's just something we have to endlessly work on. So
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah. It is. Well, it's there. I'm sure, it is annoying. It is.
Can it just go away? Just go away.
Will go away.
Why? I
I think
want it to go away.
well, I think it's also I do think everybody has it to a degree, but I think that people who are always striving to be better and are wanting to improve, those people they do that creeps in sometimes for sure. I know it does with me.
Yeah, well, Lori and I made a commitment to do our mental management religiously between now and Syracuse and,
Syracuse.
and after.
Yeah.
So you're all welcome to join us.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
all welcome to join us, and we can all work on our mental management together
Mhm.
every day forever.
Forever.
Woohoo.
Yeah. All right. This was good.
Good.
Yeah. So our next one's in what? When is the next one?
It's like
What
in
do I?
3 or 4 weeks.
3 or 4 weeks.
Kind of earlier in November. Sometimes it's like a week or so later. I feel like it's a
Yeah.
little earlier this week. It's in like 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So that's the Syracuse Regional Qualifier in Syracuse, New York. It'll be the same thing, 3 days, 2 classes a day. They have a match the
Yeah,
day before, which I don't think I'm going to because I have to work. So I'm going to ask you to save me crate space.
of course.
Thanks.
I will be there because my job, because I have the best job in the world, I can just work from my computer.
Yes, you do.
Yay. Yay. All right. So that's it.
Yeah,
Till
that was
next
it.
time.
Yeah,
Thanks,
give us
everybody.
yeah, and post questions and like our page.
All
Go to our
right. We're supposed
page.
to be asking, we always forget. We're so
I
bad.
know.
We're supposed to be asking you to like, if you like the episodes, to like them on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, just because that helps it get to more people. And yeah, I know sometimes people send me suggestions and things, but they like email or Facebook message, and I'm like, oh God, then I like lose it.
Yeah,
Go to our Canine Connection podcast Facebook page, and post it there, just because then it's all in one spot and it's easier for us to find it and keep track of it,
right.
because we want to do the episodes you guys request. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just get so much, I get so many emails and texts and messages, and then I lose track of everything and my brain
right,
explodes, and
right.
yeah,
We need it in one
it's a
place.
mess. All in one place.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.